it really stinks. You know, you get that printed piece for your company and the logo looks a little blurry. Ooh. Your logo looks blurry. Why? Why does that happen, Michael? What's the deal there?
It's always one horrible culprit. It's a rasterized logo, a PNG.
What is a rasterized?
Or a JPEG file.
What?
Well, raster is just a bunch of squares.
All right.
You don't want a bunch of squares, especially if your logo has a nice curve to it. Those little squares, even though you might not see it, especially on a computer screen, a lot of things look better than it does when it actually goes to print. It might look pretty crisp on that screen, but when you go to print it, you know, the way our digital print or offset print is set up, it's gonna see that line and it's gonna go yeah, that line, which will, when you look at it, you know, and if your eyesight's good enough that everything doesn't look blurry, and you look at it, you're gonna be like, why does it look blurry? And you're gonna be pissed because you probably have a vector of your logo somewhere.
And the vector is what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why does vector work?
A vector, because it's based, you know, off of points and angles and has curves and based off of a formula if you really want to get down the nitty gritty of it behind it. And then when we go to print it, it will see and render as that curve
nice and crisp
instead of that square logo, and you can have it nice and crisp. And you know what's crazy is I've even, like, you can have a logo this big on an envelope and it's gonna look blurry because you don't have the proper, I mean, if you've got a 1200 DPI and it's rasterized, you might get away with it, but I can tell even if you have that as a vector file, bam, nice crisp.
So if I'm creating some artwork to send to you, how do I know whether or not how do I check myself to make sure it's a vector image I have in there versus a raster?
Well, you can zoom in super close.
Oh, okay, I guess just look on your screen. Okay, yeah.
And if there's like a curved angle, you zoom in super close and you see those little squares, then you know you're dealing with a raster. If you just see a perfectly smooth curve line, then you know it's a vector. I mean, if I was somebody and I'm messing with a logo, make sure if it says EPS or it says .ai, you know that's something that's created in Illustrator, and then that's going to be a vector logo. If it's a JPEG or a PNG or even a Photoshop file, you know, TIFFs can go either way sometimes.
Are you guys, since you guys are printers, are you able to catch that too? If I were to send you and I don't know, maybe I was in a hurry and I send you my file.
Sometimes we can catch it, other times we don't. You know, I can write to someone and say, hey, we need a better logo. And they're like, well, this is what we got off the internet. But if you have your logo and it is a JPEG or whatever, and you're designing, whether it's Canva or you're on hopefully an InDesign and you're putting it together, then you can very, very easily take that into Illustrator. You know, you can outline it. That's the whole outline your logo, and then if it's gonna just be on a white background, you're probably fine to go from there. Okay. Otherwise, you can expand it; it will break it apart. You can take the whole thing apart. You gotta
kind of recreate it. I mean, as a vector file.
Yeah, but it literally could take you 20 seconds. You could give me a JPEG. I could, as long as it's one color or two color, I could break it apart into just black parts. And then you just select the other parts that are different colors and select it. And then you have a finished vector file with no background that you could put on top of any color. It's not that hard. Obviously, I've been doing it for a long time. So maybe it would be harder for normal people. But I would look into it.
For that question, if there's somebody who isn't as experienced doing this stuff, can you guys help them do that? If they don't have a good logo, can you fix it up for them?
If they're going to come and print to us and they're in the middle of the design process and they need help and they don't know if a logo, send it to me. I just told you it'd take me 20-30 seconds to change it. I'll change it and send it right back to you. The man's a magician.
He's a magician.
I'll change it, send it right back to you, and you can place that file, and then you can be confident, you know, because the last thing you want on your business card is a blurry logo.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. Makes you look cheap right off the rip.
That's like you on your business card. That's like you on your folder, you know? I mean, so that's got to be beautiful. So, So Michael here and Foote Printing can make sure it looks beautiful. Any questions, give these guys a call.